Hello, everybody. My name is Jenny Englefield. I work for Mid and North Powys Mines. My role is as a CBT practitioner. And what that involves is guiding and supporting people through the online Silvercloud platform. This helps people to learn CBT skills to apply in their everyday life. Silvercloud offers many programs and can help you with depression and anxiety, body image, diabetes, OCD, sleep, and much more. Prior to lockdown, I worked from Knighton and Prestine surgeries, and the other half of my job, Anthea Jones, works from Landrin, Dodwells, Bilth and Raider surgeries. Today, I'm going to talk to you about facing your fears. I think it's fair to say that we all have fears. Some of us are scared of spiders, mice, water. Some of us are scared of the dark. And there are loads more. And it's okay to have some fears, but what it is when they impact on your life and limit what you actually do. For example, if you're scared of the dark, what will happen as soon as it gets dark, you lock yourself in your house and you become a prisoner in your own house, and you're missing so much of the beauty outside, you know, the night sky, the stars, the moon. So really, you know, when we have a fear, to avoid it, we do tend to avoid it, and that's okay because it stops, you know, we don't have to face it. However, in the long term, avoiding fears can lead to the classic avoidance cycle, which Becca is now going to put on the screen. As you see before you, you have the classic avoidance cycle. So we have a person fears a situation, and the situation we fear, we avoid that situation. And so our own beliefs about that situation are not actually tested. And so our beliefs about the fear of that situation is reinforced. Thank you, Becca. So what we're going to talk about today is facing a fear. And a very common fear today is about going shopping. Following COVID, we've all been in isolation for 3, and some of us longer, 3 to 4 months. And a lot of us haven't actually been outside at all. Maybe we've only just been standing on our doorstep. And prior to COVID, we would have just gone shopping. We would have just put our coats on, gone to the shop, done our shopping and come home. Now we are too scared to go. We are fearful to go. So why is that? Well, I think number one is that we're scared of exposing ourselves to the virus in case, you know, because it heightens our risk of catching COVID. And also shops now aren't what they used to be. Apparently now they have one-way systems and you have to social distance, and you also have to do things like sterilize your trolley. So in order to help us face our fear, we're going to use a very successful technique called graded exposure. What is graded exposure? Graded exposure is when we expose ourselves to our fear step by step and little by little. And to help us to do this, we use what is called the ladder of fear. Becca, can you put the ladder of fear up, please? Right, before you have a picture of the ladder of fear. Now, this ladder of fear can be used for any fear at all. But today we're going to use it for going shopping following COVID. As you see on the ladder of fear, there are 8 steps. And at the top of the steps is your goal to go shopping. Now, you can use as many steps as you like. You can have 5, you can have 15, you can have 20, because we all work at different paces. So that is entirely up to you. And in the second column, we have the tasks for each step, which we will go through shortly. And in the third column, we have our anxiety ratings when actually trying to do one of these steps. Now, we must make sure if our anxiety rating, for example, starts at 10, then before we go on to the next step, that anxiety rating must reduce by 50% or more, and we must feel 100% comfortable before we go on to the next step. Becca is now going to put up a slide to show us how to score our anxiety for each step. As you see before you, you have a little table. Now, we need to test each step at least 3 times a week. So that is how many times the minimum we need to practice each step. So on the 13th of July, I walked to the garden gate. It took me 3 minutes. My anxiety before was 7 out of 10. During it, it was 7 out of 10. And the anxiety after was 6. And on the 15th of July, I walked to the garden gate. It was a duration of 3 minutes. My anxiety before was 6. During it was 5. And the anxiety after was 4. And you can see on the side of each of these, I've put a comment. On the first one, I was scared at first, but relieved and pleased. And on the second, I was feeling chuffed with my progress. And I need to complete that step till my anxiety level gets down to 50% or less. So that is how you score your anxiety for each step. So can we go back to the ladder of fear now, please, Becky? Right, so we start on the ladder of fear and we walk to the front gate. Many of you might be saying, oh, well, that's easy. But actually, if you've been stuck inside the house for quite a few months, it can become quite a frightening thing to do. So we do that. We walk to the front gate, and then when our anxiety level has reduced to less than 50%, we go on to step 2. Now we know, and that says safety equipment. Now we know that we're going to have to go out into the wide world and we want to keep ourselves as safe as possible. So what we need to do before we do that is to, 1, order masks so we can wear them when we are shopping, order some hand gel and some disinfectant. And for many of you that don't have a contactless credit card, it might be worth you actually getting one, because it means then that you can do everything contactless and you don't have to touch anything in the shops. And the anxiety level for that is 3. Your anxiety level may be raised with that because you are thinking about the task ahead of going shopping. And also some of you may have to use the computer, which might be enough to send your anxiety through the roof. So once we've done that, we're going to go to step 3. And we're going to walk outside the garden gate. Now remember, for 3 or 4 months, the garden gate and everything inside has been your safe boundary. And you are now going to have to go outside your safe boundary. So in order to do that, we need to practice going outside our safe boundary. So we need to practice wearing our mask and take our hand sanitizer, because we have to go through gates or whatever, touch anything. We can sanitize our hands to make sure that we're doing the best to kill the virus. So we continue to walk outside our safe boundary, and we continue to do this until we have enough energy to walk to the shops and back. Because remember, for a lot of people that have been inside the house for 3 or 4 months, you know, their mobility may not be as good as it used to be, and it may take some building up to get to where they were before COVID. So once we've reduced our anxiety to 50% or less, we have to then think about, right, when we're going shopping. Now, last time we went shopping, the shops were just normal, well, as we knew them to be normal, but now they're different. Some shops have one-way systems. You have to social distance, and you also have to social distance, and you may have to sanitize your trolleys, etc., etc. And we don't know how this works actually until we go there. So a good idea here is to, if you have a friend that has a mobile phone, ask them if they would go around the shop, if they're going shopping, and film the inside of the shop, take you on a virtual tour, so that when you go into the shop, you will know the layout and you will know how it's working. And if that isn't possible, I'm sure that if you ring up the manager, they will be only too happy to help you to come back to the shops. Right, step 5, we are now going to go on a trial run. So we're going to do everything that we would do if we were going to go shopping, except for going in the shop. So we go out, we put our mask on, we have our hand sanitizer, we have our credit card in our pocket, which is easy to hand, and we walk up to the shops, and then we just stand outside the shop, and we just observe. We observe what people are doing, just to sort of get a feel of how it's working. And then we can go on to step 6. Now, when you're going shopping, you're going to have to bring your shopping back. And so for this, you need to prepare an area in your house. You can either prepare a table, have a table ready for your shopping to go on, for you to wash every item, if that is how you're going to do it. Or some people actually have a room or a cupboard where they put their shopping in and they quarantine it for so many hours before they put it into the cupboards. So now we're going to go on to step 7. This is a big one. This is you're actually going to go shopping. So I said here, look at your checklist. Look at where you've come from. Go up your steps. Go from step 1, you went to the garden gate, you've got your safety equipment, you've walked outside your garden gate, your safe boundary, you've familiarised yourself with what's going on in the shops, you've done a trial run, and you've got your house prepared to take in the shopping. So far, you've done really well, and now this is putting it into action for the big day. So you're going to go shopping. You've done all the steps up to this. And you're going to the shops, you're prepared, you've got your mask on, you've got your hand sanitizer, you've got your credit card. When you're outside the shop, it's a possibility that your anxiety may raise a little bit. Just stop, take a few deep breaths, and just try and relax. What I forgot to say is one of the things that when you are going shopping for the first time, take a list, but not a big list, just a very small list, because going to the shops, you may be a little overwhelmed with just actually, having to do your shopping. So you've got everything ready, you've got your list in your hands, walk into the shops calmly and slowly. If you have to open a door when you go in, sanitize your hands when you get in there, and don't feel embarrassed about this. And walk calmly through the shops, just get your shopping that is on the list. Hopefully now you'll see that the video that your friend sent you is helping you, because you will know where things are in the shop and how it works. So you've got your shopping, you go to the checkout, you take your shopping outside, sanitize your hands, and take your shopping home. So now we're on step 8. You're taking your shopping home. You've put it on the table or into your quarantine room, and you've washed it and put it away. And all I can say now is well done and congratulations, because you've actually reached your goal. and you've faced your fear and you've done your shopping. So have yourself a well-deserved cup of tea. Now, I just want to say a bit more about this ladder of fear, which can be found on the Silvercloud program, as can the scores for monitoring your anxiety. But this ladder that you're looking at now can be used for any fear, and you can have as many steps as you like on it. But you must practice your graded exposure, that is each step, at least 3 times a week till your anxiety levels reduce to 50% less or 50% less or less. But you must feel comfortable before going on to the next step. When you're practicing these steps, ensure there are no distractions, because that will actually prevent the graded exposure from working. So be kind to yourself, take it step by step, little by little, and work at your own pace. And remember, you cannot overcome your anxiety without exposing yourself to your fear. Now, if you'd like to chat any more about the ladder of fear or any other programs that we mentioned on Silvercloud, you will see at the bottom of the screen that the numbers for Anthea, my colleague, and myself are flashing. Take note of these numbers and don't hesitate to give us a ring, leave us a voice message, or leave us a text, and we will get back to you and chat to you about Silvercloud. So thank you guys for listening. Good luck with everything and stay safe, and I'll see you again. Thank you.